We'll start with last week. Obviously, frustrating game for us, especially from the offensive side of it. I thought our defense really played well enough for us to go win. Had a couple of explosive plays there, but I thought overall our defense played outstanding. Thought probably one of the best game Tyon has played since he's been here. Had guys really stepping up and making some plays on that side, and that's what you got to do. I thought our special teams played well throughout. Offensively, we had plays there, we just didn't make them. We got to be more consistent. We've got to get into some type of rhythm. We got to find a way to hang our hat on something and be able to really move the football in a more consistent manner. And as good as I thought we were early in the year, which I thought we were, last week was a tough week for us. And so now we got to get back on the right track. South Florida coming into town, have been playing good football, haven't had many breaks go their way. Had some tough things to deal with, obviously. You look at last week's game, it's 17 all there at halftime with SMU. You go back to the Tulane game. I mean, it was 14-10 for the majority of the first half. Tulane scored on a fade route down there in the red zone right before half finished up to give them the lead kind of going in at halftime. Been in a lot of close ball games, and then they just didn't finish as well as they wanted to. You look at them offensively; they've been putting up points on the board, running the football extremely well. Their offensive line is big and experienced and talented. The backfield is the same way. Quarterback's always a threat. They've had some injuries at the quarterback spot, and we'll see where that plays itself out this week. But obviously, they can move the football, and they've done a good job with it. And so we've got to do a good job of stopping the run game part of it. We also got to do a good job offensively of picking up first down and consistently moving the football. And had a good week so far of practice. Sunday, obviously, we went out and practiced. Yesterday, obviously, with labs, classes, hard to practice on Monday. So we'll be back on the practice field again today and get a chance to get prepared for these guys.
Can you talk about the morale of the team after, obviously at this point a bowl game is not a possibility. So how's the morale?
We still got a lot to play for from the standpoint of pride. We've got some seniors that have done some really good things around here and made significant impacts to our program and to our university. We got Senior Day coming up this Friday, and for us, if you love the game and you love playing the game, then you got another opportunity. We've got two more opportunities to step out there and play. It's got to be about pride. It's got to be about us. And our guys, again, at practice the other day, we had good energy, good focus, and guys are locking in, trying to get it done.
Talk about the quarterback situation. If Davis is healthy, is he going in, and kind of what are you seeing from him as in his recovery?
Yeah, I mean, if Davis is healthy, he'll play. Obviously, he's still day-to-day right now, and that's the way it's going to continue to be. We'll see how much better he can get from now until game time, and hopefully he'll be able to go. If he cannot, then obviously Braylon will go in, and Braylon is learning on the job right now. Did some good things, obviously a lot of things that we're continuing to learn and grow from, and our play has to consistently be better across the board. That includes me and them.
On finding a rhythm offensively, it's hard kind of midstream. You got a new challenge every single week. You've been dealing with, quarterback injuries and in and out, and obviously offensive line's been a big part of it. But at this stage, with, such limited time as you're getting ready for an opponent, how do you try and find a rhythm?
Well, it really starts in the midst of, as you're schematically approaching a game, right? I take South Florida right here. They've been basically a 4-2-5 defense for the majority of the year. We'll jump into some odd at times, but basically 4-2-5. Last week all of a sudden they went to a Cub or a 3-4 look and played a large percentage of that throughout the game. So now from a schematic standpoint, you got to make sure you got plans for both. But for us, it's moving the chains, right? And as we stay on the field, you create your own momentum and your own rhythm and finding things that are working for you and being able to consistently go back and attack in a variety of ways that way. When you're out there, if you're going threes and outs, it's hard to get into a rhythm. And you've got to be able to stay consistently on the field. You can spark and have a big play, but you got to turn it into something. And you got to find the consistency within that, whether that's running the football, whether that's being able to dink and dunk and throw it and do it that way. But you've got to be able to stay on the field, and that's where we're going to find our rhythm.
We saw what this offense was for the first month, and you went toe-to-toe with a team that's still in the top 10. And it just hasn't, in large part because of what happened to Davis's ankle, but there have been other things. I mean, it just looking back on that or reflecting on all that, is there anything that could have been done differently or you wish had been done differently, or
Yeah, Caden, that's really hard. You know what I'm saying? Because we were executing at a really, really high level early. And, yes, injuries has been a part of that. And I think as those injuries happened and, we're still playing really, really tough opponents, and a lot of it comes back to guys making plays and guys, making those plays confidently, right? And, when you're playing with that pace and you're being able to execute at a high pace and a high rhythm, you've got to be able to adjust when things occur from an injury standpoint. And once you kind of get off that track, you got to find a way to get back on it, right? And so I think our guys have worked extremely hard. I think they're still in the right mindset to do it. But we got to go out and we got to see some good things happen, and we got to make some good things happen. We've had opportunities in the last several ball games that we just didn't make plays that potentially can get you back on track and get you back into that mindset, into that rhythm that you need to consistently do what we want to do offensively.
Coach, I'm sure you're not on social media or Twitter as much as like we are. I don't know how much you interact with players or with fans. I'm sorry. Do you hear some of the criticism of even the coaching job? Does it put pressure on you? How does it make you feel?
I can only control what I can control, right? And so people are going to say good things and bad things, whether you're winning or losing at this stage, right? So for us, it's about just putting our head down, grinding, coming back to work, and getting prepared and getting our guys prepared to step on the field and play to the very best of our abilities. So the outside part of it I can't worry about. I'm going to keep my focus on our job, on our coaches, and on our players and getting them prepared and ready.
And then for the last two games this season here, are you focusing more on just getting these 2 wins to help this season, or is it something where you can use this to build on the future? Or is that even in your mind at this point?
Well, for us, I want to see us finish well as a team, right? And, this is not going to be one of those situations where all of a sudden you're going to start playing a bunch of young guys and doing all that. We're not going to do that part of it. We're going to play our team, and we're going to put the best 11 guys out there on the field that gives us a chance to go win. And so we're going to continue to do that part of it. And I think that has to be our mindset as we're working forward.
You talked about playing for pride for the last 2 games. What have you seen of your players? Are they bought in on that, you think?
I think they are. Again, I thought we had a good practice on Sunday. Our guys were focused. Obviously, weather was changing, and it was a little cooler on Sunday, and it's going to be a little cooler out there today. But I thought we had good energy, and guys are locked into what we got to go do as a team, and got another opportunity to play this game that we all love come Friday.
Can you just speak on we understand it, but the difficulty of playing on a Thursday, then playing on a Friday, and then switching around playing on Saturday? Especially mixing in a road game there, too. I know that really screws up y'all's practice schedule.
Yeah, anytime you have those situations throughout your schedule, it is difficult. As you are aware, we're all creatures of habit. So you're getting out of your norm. When you start talking about a Saturday game, turn around and playing on a Thursday game, from a health standpoint and how healthy can you get back if you got bumps and bruises, what does your body feel like, especially later in the season like it is right now. Those are always difficult. Even this turnaround from Thursday to Friday, your schedule is off. You got to be locked into what you got to get done from a schematic standpoint, from a meeting standpoint, from a health standpoint, and it makes it difficult, especially here late in the season, because you've got more of those nicks and bruises and banged up things that happen in just the course of a long season.
I know he's not here, and so you don't have to speak necessarily directly to him, but what Joe Gillespie's doing at TCU right now is pretty impressive. Did on a national stage last Saturday. Maybe more for us here, is it validation that what you guys do in your system here is working and it's good? I mean, it's obviously working at a Power 5 school, but just validation of that.
I'm happy for Joe and what they've been able to do. They've had a great season, and obviously, that defense and what it is and what it was, all kind of generated from here, and glad to see the success that they're having. Obviously, we're focused on us and what we're doing and trying to get that part of it done.
Senior Day, obviously, what has this group meant? I mean, final time for Stokes. I mean, it seems like he's been here for 10 years, but, for him playing and the rest of the seniors, what does this group mean to you? It's kind of from the beginning for you.
Yeah, this is a group that they've been through a lot. When you talk about when they got here, you talk about COVID, you talk about social unrest, you talk about all the different elements and factors that have kind of gone into their college experience. And so they've really done some amazing things as they've worked diligently to improve their skill sets, to improve us as a football team. They've been great leaders. Some of them have been around a little bit longer than others because of the extra year, and so that adds another factor to it. But these guys have been instrumental in some of the things that we've been able to accomplish here, and they're going to leave here with great memories and look back on their time here, I think, in a really special way with the bonds and what they've created here. And I know me personally, just every time one of these things happen, it's always emotional just because you feel like it's, part of your family is growing up and leaving home. And so just really proud of them, but anxious to see what they're going to do in their futures ahead of them.
Coach, over the past couple games, drop passes have played a huge part in, killing some of that offensive momentum. So what's being done to kind of reduce those unforced errors?
Well, I think more than anything, it's just guys got to lock in and focus. You get an opportunity to make those plays. We haven't had many of those throughout the early part of the season, and at this stage, guys have just got to really be locked in. Don't take things for granted from the standpoint of what this catch is, and a lot of times we're trying to do too much and you're trying to make too many plays when you just need to relax and make the play that's in front of you. And I think those guys will.
Is it weird still, Senior Day, with the COVID year and all and injury years? Do you know who's going through Senior Day? Do you know how many people are going through? How many people are coming back?
We've got guys that are going through that still have maybe a year left, and obviously have had those conversations with them, but some of it is like they came in with this group of guys, so they kind of you kind of want to feel that part of it, and so that's always different when it comes to this time because of the extra year and the COVID year and all of that, and so you're always working through that part of it and that aspect of it, and so every year now, it's going to be a part of it, and so we'll continue to kind of monitor and work our way through that.
Just because I'm curious, what do those conversations look like? Is it a week or two after the season you ask if those guys want to use that COVID year? I mean, because I know you got recruiting classes you got to fill out and the scholarships. So, I mean, how does that conversation even go?
Yeah, obviously we actually have those conversations kind of earlier in the year, and you continue to have the conversation throughout the year because, things can change in a heartbeat. And so it does add another layer, obviously, to recruiting. And as you get to the end of your year, then you have your end of course meetings and have an opportunity to really sit down and kind of finalize some things. Because like you said, from a recruiting standpoint, you kind of got to know where you're at, what you're looking for, where those holes are going to be. You have an idea of where they're at right now, but then all of a sudden something moves and shakes, and you got to be able to react to it.
The offensive line was mentioned earlier, and I just wanted to get your sense of their progress. I mean, you've finally had some stability where the same 5 guys have been playing the last several games. Where do you see from them?
Yeah, I think we're actually getting healthier right now. That being said, I think their level of play has increased over the last couple of games. I thought really in the Memphis game, going back to it early, they gave us a couple of different looks. I thought our guys adjusted well, and I thought as the game went on, I thought they did a much better job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Got to continue to make that growth. We're still inexperienced, but obviously gaining experience. We're almost a year into it, and we've now, for the last several games, have been able to start the same 5 guys. So that communication, I think, is getting better with them up front, and we're going to continue to improve and gain confidence, I think, with them as we finish this up.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.